Hello, everyone.
We come to you live from our self-quarantine. I hope you guys are watching this from the self-isolation of your own home. What do you think?
I just realized I'm wearing a Foursquare t-shirt. This was this game we used to play in simpler times when we would just go to places just to check in there for no other reason. I mean, basically what this shirt says is that I'm like a really good vector.
That you're the mayor of this self-quarantine.
Yeah,
is actually
exactly.
What that shirt
That's
says.
Exactly. And so we've been doing pretty well at self-quarantine. I guess we had to make a couple of strategic forays out, and we went to an oncologist appointment today, and that's what we wanted to report to you about, mostly. Because before today, we had gotten the new diagnosis that the cancer had returned, that it was metastatic, that we're no longer looking to cure it. And then we talked to a lot of nurses and technicians.
Well, today was the first time we heard metastatic.
That's true.
Prior to that, terminal was the only word that was being used to describe it.
And I honestly don't know if we had provided that term or if the doctor did.
That he did.
Okay.
Yeah, he did.
But anyway, today we saw a different oncologist, and
for a second opinion. A lot of you were like, get a second opinion. And we're like, it's not that easy, but we'll try. So we did. Right?
And she looked through some notes on the computer, and I could see some of the notes. And
God, I was trying not to look because I was afraid of seeing images.
We did not see the images. I think I'm going to not see the images.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Until we have, if we get a good result from the chemo, then I'll look at this last course of images side by side with the new post-chemo images. Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to look at it now. But what we're reading is consistent with some of the symptoms Megan has been having, and symptoms that we attributed to other things.
Should I tell them what some of those are and what that looks
like?
Okay. So, I still have small cell neuroendocrine tumor, which is a head and neck cancer, and even though it was in my throat originally. But small cell is also the most aggressive type of lung cancer. So, what I have is small cell neuroendocrine, and it's in my liver and in my lymph nodes on the right side up here, which is causing me to cough.
Might be causing you to cough, or it could be still postnasal drip, because even from the first course of chemo,
I would still have
we would expect you to be, this is what we found out today, the doctor said she would expect you to be still immunocompromised to a point where it would take you longer to kick a cold. Now, just before we moved to this new apartment, which with all this extra attention is finally coming together, and someday you'll get to see it, but just before we moved here, we both had a really bad cold.
not coronavirus.
Well, not COVID-19.
Right.
But we found out that most colds are caused by coronaviruses.
Right.
But not the one that people are talking about.
Right.
Probably. Although it may have been here. The first case in the U.S. was in January.
Right, but we
But
don't have
anyway,
it.
we don't think we have it.
So my symptoms are a cough that is worse when I'm lying down, right?
Yes.
I also, for a few weeks prior to my PET scan, or I can say maybe a week and a half prior to my PET scan, was feeling pain on my right side. Being how I am, I thought I just pulled an oblique in the gym.
And she was like bragging about it
I was
too.
like,
She was like, I got this pulled oblique. It's so
I'm
awesome.
so
cool.
I'm so hardcore.
Yeah.
Wrong. It's liver cancer. So, that pain feels like someone's jabbing me in the rib, like jabbed. So, like, if I lie down, it's more painful.
And not so much the liver cancer per se, but also there are these other nodules, other tumors throughout the thoracic cavity up under your rib cage. And so those hard masses are going to poke at you.
Yeah. If I move around, lay a certain way. But after the first round of chemo, the first 3-day session of chemo that I had at the beginning of the month, that pain went away. It's only started to come back the last couple days, not nearly as bad as it had been before. And the oncologist that we saw today, when I told her that, I thought for sure she was going to be like, I'm sure. But she had a really positive response and was like, that's great. So, where we had, the cancer's not going away no matter what we do, and it'll definitely be the thing that takes me out. But what we were grappling with was we didn't know if we had 4 months, 6 months, a year. They still won't tell us. But based on our appointment today, we both feel like I've got yours, right? That's how we feel. But that could change at any time.
I feel more confident about if you don't get COVID-19.
Right, yeah. So stay.
We're going to have time to do this bucket list.
Yeah.
And that's good because we're going to need a little extra time because we're all going to be on lockdown. I'm thinking till the end of the summer. And then there's going to be the Dust Bowl that follows, the Great Depression, part 2.
Yeah.
It's going to be pretty nuts. And I'm pretty excited for the day that we're all out on our balconies in a few days singing Les Mis.
Or Rent.
Les Mis.
Just not.
But I just, I was recently studying the history and I kind of felt like, Les Mis ends with the beginning of the French Revolution, but that's actually not right. That was 16 years later. And so I guess the June...
But Rent is about a different disease.
That's true.
Okay,
But
we could go either way.
I'm thinking the economic impacts are going to be really, really long-lasting because that's the kind of dork I am. I'm thinking that we're going to have to build the economy from scratch, and working class people are going to have to decide how little we're going to take, how little we're going to get, and we'll get exactly as little as we accept. But when we're out there singing about
525,625 minutes.
Yeah.
No day but today. I could just go on. I love show tunes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that our neighborhood does as much. But when we're out there singing.
We're hoping to teach them Les Mis. We read it in a meme. We thought that's a great idea. But the revolution is going to be long term. I'm thinking, so since it was 16, so if in 1 week we start the singing of Les Mis, then we still have 16 years till the beginning of the French Revolution. And then even that gets us sort of like a very short republic followed by another monarchy. So I'm thinking we've got at least 8 years of Donald Jr., 8 years of Ivanka, and then we can start thinking about electing our, AOC, who will then declare a monarchy. And
this is all very depressing. This is.
But maybe things move faster with the internet.
Maybe.
Yeah, so we don't have to wait quite so long. But anyway, bring on the revolution. And
wash your fucking hands.
Wash your hands. Wash your hands. Wash your hands. And
I don't know. I guess we'll probably do more of these since we're on quarantine and we have plenty of time. Lucky you guys, because you have plenty of time too.
yeah, and you can hear me drone on about politics. And we are not going to sing show tunes to you
Yet.
on here, probably.
What about Total Eclipse of the Heart?
No.
Okay.
It's been, what's the opposite of requested?
Requested not to be played.
That's right.
Okay.
All right, bye.